Hello, welcome to Dee's Book Corner. I'm Dee, I'm in a corner, and these are my books. So I changed the name from Dee's Book Club because one, I don't have a book club, and two, Dee's Book Corner just sounds so much more. I'm gonna do this month's wrap up, well, last month's wrap up, because me and time, we just don't align.
Speaking of, I didn't have time and had to record the following day.
Okay, I'm gonna do March wrap up. I know this video is slightly late. Late to what? I did one wrap up a year ago. Anyways, maybe you should talk to someone by Lori Gottlieb. No, Lori Gottlieb. Kif Amino, Lori Gottlieb. I like this book a lot. You're following a therapist, her therapist, and her patient. No, a therapist, her patients, a therapist's therapist. Therapist, who's also the author's therapist. The therapist, who's the author's patients. You get the point. Eads is a story, but it's also a self-help book. Yani she covers all aspects of human emotion. Grief, pain, heartbreak, loss, denial, acceptance. Here's the gist of it. A therapist goes into a crisis and she goes to see a therapist. But within that, she kind of opens up other issues that she has, the same way that she's found within her patients. And I think the entire book just kind of shows you how effed up we are as humans. I think it's one of those books that's like a time thing. You'll pick it up when I think you need to the most. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens is this month's, or I'm sorry, last month's read of the month of the read, the book of the month. I love this book. That's about Kaya, a marsh girl raised in the slumps, in the swamps of North Carolina, really raised herself. A murder happens, the townspeople point the finger at her, and this just great storyline of whodunit comes about. The way it plays out is this intense trial, and you go back and forth with evidence and pushed back and forth in time. And the way that you actually eventually get to the truth is, I think, why Delia Owens is a great writer. Okay, so the camera turned off. I'm very exhausted. I'm exhausted. Yeah, and where did I end? Oh, I was getting to the part of how much I loved it. So the main reason why I love this book is because of the way that it ended, of the way Delia Owens ended this book. I'm the type of person that I like to spoil things for myself. I'm reading and I have a question that I want answered quickly. My eyes wander. So I had to literally read this book like that because I was just on edge. I wanted to know what really happened. And she introduced that truth in the most perfect way. And it's the main reason I easily will give this book a 5 out of 5. If you don't even want to read it, just hold it. Everyone will come and talk to you. I was reading this on vacation. Every time I would go tanning, of course, I'd have the book like put on me to the side. And anyone that walked by would say, that's a great book. Oh, how's the book so far? I've been told to read it. It sparks off conversation. You don't have a dog to do that or a baby? Hold this book. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. Next, I read What Dementia Teaches Us About Love by Nicki, Gerard. I picked it up only because of the title. I ended up liking it. I didn't love it. I think it had a slow start. The book is about the author and her journey with her father's dementia diagnosis to his eventual death. And I could not really read this book in a relating point of view. I don't know anyone who has dementia. It wasn't an emotional read for me. It was kind of like a philosophical read because it really questions what makes us human. Is it our memories? Is it our thoughts? Are we us without them? And great book. This book of March's wrap-up is Joan Didion's My Year of Magical Thinking. It's a memoir about the loss of her husband and the way that she took it and dealt with it. And weirdly enough, I picked up this book not knowing what it was going to be about at all. It was the perfect time for me to read it. And I'm struggling with grief more now than I did 6 years ago when I lost my mother. And I never understood why. It was like grief was getting harder to deal with and it was affecting me more and more. And I think this book just explained why, and it helped me kind of understand my own way of really accepting that grief will last forever. And besides me, how do I make this about me? It's a great book to kind of see how someone's life can shift in a blink of an eye. And that is the end of March's wrap up. Like I said, welcome to Dee's Book Corner. I'm Dee, this is a corner, and these are my books. I'm Dee, this is my corner, and these are my books.